All right, what's good, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me actually make sure you guys can see me. Hopefully, this is not frozen on your end. I feel like the webcam is frozen on your end. Hopefully not, but good morning. Hopefully, everybody's having a great morning so far. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend as well. Let me just make sure that everything's solid so that way we can begin. Oh, I am just stuck over here on the webcam side. All right, give me 1 second. Let me actually go ahead and fix this. Second. Yeah, there we go. Does the work want to do that? No. Is there any way that I can even restart that? Let's actually just remove it and I'll just re-add it really fast. And then, where is it? There we go. Let's make sure that fits. All right. For some reason, like the webcam just randomly stops working, but hopefully everybody can see now. All right, so what's good, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. If the webcam just randomly stops working again, I do apologize. I'll probably just take it off if it does that again. But again, I just want to make sure that you guys have the best value, the best opportunity to learn, make the stream at least somewhat more, I would say, high quality for you guys. That's really important. But let me actually just double check, make sure that everybody is good. All right, so webcam is working perfectly. All right, so good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Obviously, right now, we're going to take a look at some of the markets, see if there's any type or any charts that we could take a look at, see if there's any potential opportunities as far as trades are concerned. Really mark up some things, get better detail, excuse me, and answer any and all questions that you guys may have as well. If you just see me look up and down, it's just because I want to make sure that, nothing cut out, the stream is good. Let me actually make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, so just going through the little prerequisites to make sure that we're good to start. Probably nobody on the stream currently. Oh, what's up, Sylvester? What's good? What's good? Good morning, good morning, good morning. For some reason, it says like only one person's watching, which I think is just me, and then there's like 20 different people, 30 different people on. So don't mind me. So again, good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Again, let me just make sure we are good. Oh, and I apologize for any and all noise in the background. Living in New York City, it's always going to be noisy, so I apologize for that. There's always construction and always something going on. But again, I do want to make sure that I'm taking a look at some charts, understanding what you guys want to take a look at as well. So if there's any charts or specific markets you want to take a look at, feel free to let me know. If you have any questions, also let me know. I will be taking an active look at the chat below, so that way, obviously, I can stay relevant to whatever you guys want to take a look at. Let me actually go back to that now. What's good, Riley? What's good? What's good? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So again, real quick, if you guys have any questions, any specific charts you want to take a look at, feel free to let me know. Before we do that, I do want to take a quick look here at Bitcoin, because that's actually showing us a little bit more of a bullish rally. I was looking at a different idea at this, but now it's developing into something a little bit more, I would say, bullish. So we'll actually take a look at Bitcoin before we go take a look at any forex pairs. Obviously, if you guys let me know, I will be taking a look at the chat. There is a delay as well, so if you ask a question and I don't answer it immediately, trust me, I will be getting to that question as fast as I possibly can. So what I'm going to do is, again, kind of give you my idea what I'm going to be looking at here with Bitcoin, because this market here is showing us more along the lines of a bullish market now. And I'll show you what I was looking at previously and what it's now currently doing. Now, if I'm obviously on the higher time frame, being the weekly, I wanted to really see this on the higher time frame because I want to get a strong idea of what's happening. Now, previously, if I just go back, we can see that this market did reach a relative high. We did reach almost, I think it did actually hit the 70. No, it did not. So we almost hit 70,000, and we can see how it had a strong impulsive rejection from this price up here. It did in fact create that head and shoulders pattern. Now, with that head and shoulders pattern being created, if you don't know what a head and shoulders pattern is, that's a reversal pattern. What that's going to show you is most likely the direction and momentum of where that market intends on going. And we can see that it did in fact break below a pretty significant low here. And everything I'm doing here is always going to be in a technical standpoint, right? I'm not going to overcomplicate things. I want to make sure everything is as easy as possible to understand. What I can understand is that since we broke below the neckline of that pattern and we can see the rejection, I was expecting this market to continue to push down lower. So from here to at least back down to these lows and possibly lower from there. So what I do want to identify is, obviously I'm still going to take a look at this structure down here, because even though if we actually go ahead and press play or just let this continue, we can now see that it broke right above where I believed that was going to be respected. And that's perfectly fine. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to remain bullish, but right now, since we have broken above that point, I'm not looking for any more bearish indications. But what I will be identifying is there's still structure here. Oh, now my tools don't want to work. As far as the levels of the left and right shoulder, and obviously the previous highs up here. So if I can see that, wrong tool, but that works. Let me actually just put the right tool. We can see these highs here. If Bitcoin, I mean the majority, because Bitcoin is going to lead, I would say, other cryptocurrencies. If this can in fact continue up to these relative highs, we're going to look for another bullish rally on Bitcoin. And I'm only going to explain this to you guys here. I will actually let students know, as far as legacy students, I will let you know if and where I'm going to be investing. And when, rather, so that way you guys can get in at the same time. Obviously, I don't day trade cryptocurrencies. I personally just invest. So for legacy students, I definitely got you guys. I'm just giving you like an idea of where I believe is going to be the best areas for just us who invest in. Now, my overall long-term, I would say, advice is, or not even advice, just the idea of what Bitcoin is going to be. Long-term, I mean, if you hold any cryptocurrency, it doesn't really matter which one it is at this point, it's going to be valuable. I think the longevity of Bitcoins and what it's actually turning into is kind of inevitable for it to not continuously be this great thing. So I think long term, if you invest into cryptocurrencies at any price, you're going to be successful in the investment of it. But there are going to be better areas for us to get into them, and I think we're reaching those areas pretty soon, or I would say within this year. You know what I mean? I think, especially with the break above here already, and even here on the weekly time frame, if we take a look at the actual candlestick here, again, I always tell you guys, I know on all the sessions, I'm like, go pay attention to your candlestick patterns. That candlestick right there is really important because it's not only a significant breakout candlestick, there's a few characteristics of it that shows how bullish that move was, and the idea and the potential of the next continued moves to be, in a sense. So what I would be looking for is any type of pullback right back down to here before I start investing, or if it cannot respect that area, it's probably going to continue to push back down lower. So right now with cryptocurrencies, I would say bullish, but we're probably going to see a little bit of a pullback before the next initial rally. And I just wanted to go over that initially as we begun, just so that way we can get started. BTC and GA. Well, good thing I was already looking at Bitcoin, right? So, all right, I'll take a look at GBP AUD, and I'll take a look at some of the other pairs that I personally always take a look at, which is gold, GBP, JPY. Oh, wow, my thing froze again. Now I just look crazy. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Hold on, let me delete it real quick once again. And let me just re-add it. That was like the craziest thing. Now I'm going to be popping up mad big on the screen real quick. My bad. All right. Yeah, I have no idea why it keeps freezing for absolutely no reason. I think it's like when I move fast. I have no idea. I got like the best setup over here too. I got like a crazy ass computer, everything, and it just keeps messing up. All right, so it looks like we're good with that. I apologize, it keeps freezing. But all right, I just saw on my phone how like gigantic my face was on the screen. My bad. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at GBP AUD. All right, let's see. GBP AUD. Sell kill zone. So I was already looking for sells on this previously. Oh, I never even reached that. I mean, same idea. There's really not much to see on that. You know what I mean? Like, this is a very easy market to identify. I think what a lot of us, what happens is we get into this, I would say, state of mind where things are way too oversold or way too overbought. I mean, if you're looking at a market that's selling, you're probably going to want to continue to sell. You know what I mean? Don't overcomplicate it. Make it as easy as possible. This is a seller's market. There's really not much else to it. I mean, we even saw from the weekly and how significant that sell was there. I mean, right now, are you at any type of significant structure? Probably not, because I keep choosing that when I don't want to. Probably not, because if we identify, I mean, kind of breaking below those lows already. You know what I mean? Like, I can see this. I mean, we're still within that zone, but I really wouldn't think that that would be something significant as far as being respected right now, because we can see how bearish impulsive this is. Again, the candlesticks. That's important. This is a strong bearish market after that extreme double top here on the weekly. We already have, look at that. I didn't even see that. So we already had the double top being here. We already have the break of the double top and the retest of it. That's not going to continue. That's not going to buy at all. You're just going to continue to sell that. You know what I mean? If you're in sells on that, continue to hold. You know, you're not buying that whatsoever. You're just going to continue to hold that to the downside. Now, if you're wondering where, I mean, the most significant next level of structure is down here. Let me get rid of this, because this is like not anything I personally even use. But yeah, I would say that would be your significant low for take profits, or if you're in that trade. And not even just take profits, where the market will most likely gravitate towards, and then that will be our most significant buy zone, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's really easy to see for that one. And I know I'm on the weekly, but the reason why I'm on the weekly is so that way you can understand the severity and the strength of that initial trend and the reasoning on why it's so bearish. We have a double top. Since that double top was broken and retested, we can see that it's going to just continue to push down lower. Not much else to really talk on that one. Let me just see. And again, you don't want to overcomplicate what you're looking at. If the market's selling, you probably want to continue to sell, right? You don't want to, oh, it looks oversold, we're at support. If it's selling, only identify buys when you can see actual buy indications. Right now, I don't see any. You know what I mean? Even if you're looking at a potential buy or an idea, I would say a correction at least, because you can see here, this is the impulse. This is its correction. This is the next impulse. That impulse can be identified where it's most likely going to stop or get some type of correction from. So we're going to go from swing highs, swing lows, right back up to swing highs. So roughly around this area. So you got the 127, 141, and the 168. And the tool that I'm using that I just drew out is just simply the Fibonacci extension tool. That's exactly what it stands for. It's finding the extension ratio or the extension level of this impulsive move. So at either one of these little points, you can find some type of correction. And what's cool about that is you can identify a counter trend trade, which just basically is what that stands for. You're going against the initial trend. You can buy from here, let's say take profits from there. When you take profits at that level of structure, you could possibly look for something like that. But as far as anything else, no, I would not see like any buys on this. I wouldn't even try to counter trend trade this. This is just a strong downtrend. So, I mean, even on the smaller time frames, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, it's pretty easy to see how bearish this is. Sorry, my contacts are killing me right now. This is why I don't like wearing contacts. I want to get glasses, but I look so weird. But as you can see here, like that level of structure is broken. It's continuing to make lower lows and lower highs. Continue where the money's going. That's really simple. You know, like you don't, again, want to overcomplicate what you're looking at. Once you do, you lose money. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. But yeah, any other questions? Anything else you guys got for me? Any other charts you want to take a look at, feel free to let me know. Again, I want to make sure I'm relevant to what you guys want to look at. But if not, I'll take, actually real quick, I do want to take a look at gold, just so that way I can see if there's any potential opportunities on this. Now, gold's a very weird one right now. It's like playing around in its own little range. It's actually creating a bigger head and shoulders pattern now that I look at it. Yep, no problem, Sylvester, I got you. So originally with gold, yeah, it's just making it more relevant head and shoulders pattern. So we're going to take a look at gold here on the higher time frame just to see what we got. Obviously, I want to see if we're at a level of structure, any type of idea of continuations, reversals. You know, because if the market's going to continue to buy, I need to find ideas on why I believe that. Same thing for bearish markets or potential reversal. GJ and Z, I don't know what all those Z's are, but I was going to take a look at GJ anyway, so I got you. But what I can do is identify the fact that we can't see that there's a strong level of structure here. So for gold, that's really important for me. So structure. So with that level of structure there, that's telling me that the market is probably not going to be able to break through that. Again, if you guys don't understand your candlesticks, this is really important that you do, because that wick to the upside and the candlestick there is showing me a strong idea of what's going to happen there. Again, this is called price action. And the one thing I always tell my students is if you can identify price, you identify the actions that proceed within there. Now there are, excuse me, there are some type of actions that you not specifically want to take a look at and always identify, but there are some things you want to see that the market creates and how it develops. So that way you get a stronger idea of your next potential move. This is kind of setting up to be that with gold here. So when I scale down to the daily, it's a little bit more relevant to see. Reason being, even here, we're starting to see that head and shoulders pattern just a little bit more. When we scale down to a smaller time frame, it's going to be a lot more relevant. This might be it on the smaller time frames. I'm not too sure. But the one thing I'm also looking at is here, even on the daily, if I just get rid of everything, is if anybody study their candlestick patterns, that candlestick pattern there, right? So what I am looking at is the idea of this market giving me a candlestick reversal pattern, also after respecting a strong level of structure. When I scale down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see the pattern a lot better of the head and shoulders pattern. If you can't see it, we'll just draw it up one more time. I'll start from here just because. And you can see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the neckline here. We're going to do a few things, actually. We're going to draw the, actually, we don't have to do a few things. I thought maybe I would have to connect this point to draw more of a better trend line to see if a better break. But no, that's actually the full neckline. That's perfect. So if we have the break of the neckline, that's beautiful. We'll actually just draw a structure here as well. So as of right now, we have nothing on gold. As far as like long term, I'm not going to jump to the 5 or the 15 minute and, get 10, 20 pips on this. From here to here is like a week's worth of trading. That's almost 400 pips. That one trade with a good lot size is more than enough than trading 20 times a week on the smaller time frame. So the reason why I'm looking at that is because if we can actually get a respect of this said trend line, can we not look for potential buys, at least back up into this range, maybe till here, where that can give us a break, kind of have a retest there actually, but more of a break, more of an actual correction back to this area, maybe even reach back to these highs. If that's the case, this one trade could literally give you a week's worth of profits. That's the reason why I don't trade smaller time frames. I like to swing trade, intraday trade as well, which is where you're just holding a trade 6 to 8 hours. But I mean, even these areas here are perfect. So let me see this. Perfect. So I may be looking at potential buys here on gold. Now, for anybody who loves order blocks, I think we actually just came into it. Ooh, almost came into an order block. Not on the 1 hour. Let's see the 4 hour. So I've been just weirdly on the this weird quest for knowledge. So I've been studying order blocks. I've been trying to do all that. I thought my mic was in the frame now. Damn. Over here trying to get a professional little stream for you guys and everything. I thought my mic was in the frame, made me look all cool and shit. Nope, not even. But let's see real quick. You know what? Depending on how this is, by the end of the session, we might take some buys on this, just depending on how this works. Now, because I know on the smaller time frame, it does have like a break of here, and we are respecting here. This is the only time where I'll be on the smaller time frames, like on gold, US 30. Those I would identify those structure points at some points, because these markets, such as gold and any indice, they respect structure on the majority of any time frame pretty perfectly. Same thing with cryptocurrencies. Forex, not so much. They do respect structure, but you do have that idea where they play around within a range for the most part, and not the best type of way. So I do want to identify this as well, because if this is not broken to the upside, we could possibly get a small time sell from here as well. Even from here, I know I say I don't do it, but if we can't get some money on this session, by all means, that's a 60 pip, 70 pip range. So why not? So if we can do that, I'll make sure that I actually do that for you guys as well. My man Corey, GJ, I got you. Damn. He's like, GJ, please, Jesus. All right, I got you. GBP, JPY. So what's your general question with this? You know what I mean? Like, what's your idea? What is it you want to identify with this? So you say GJ, but what is it that you want to understand about GJ? Because I'm just marking things up. Do you have a question about it? Are you in a trade? Do you have a markup? If you do, feel free to post that up in the Discord so that way I can take a look at it, critique it, and make sure you're on the right path. If you're not a part of the Discord, make sure that you go into the description below. The link is there for you guys to join, where I'm posting up any announcements for obviously any sessions, any trades that we're currently in as far as the signal. And I do also post the charts that we currently go over here in the Discord as well, so that way you guys can stay on top of everything with analysis. So if you guys are not a part of that, feel free to do that as well. And real quick, if you guys could do me one quick favor, if you are getting value, if you are getting knowledge from these sessions, I know I've been trying to be as consistent as possible. We've been doing these every day. We're going to be doing these every day. Please like this video. It really helps me help you guys. Because what I'm doing with these sessions, again, is I'm doing these so that way I can have the charts marked up perfectly for students. I can actually go ahead and place any, trades in our auto trader, and then obviously put any signals out for everybody in our Discord as a VIP student, and obviously for you guys, because if I mark these charts up and I see that we have a bunch of people on, we're creating this giant community, I'm obviously going to get back to you guys, give you guys signals and trades, so that way you can profit alongside myself and my students as well. So definitely from the bottom of my heart, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm thinking bullish continuation. Where are you thinking it from? Trying to follow the money. Where are you trying to follow, find your buys from? That's the biggest thing. We can already see the reason why I'm on the higher time frame, the daily, because I think everybody has this giant misconception that when you trade the smaller time frames, such as the daily, the weekly, the monthly, that you're only getting one trade a year. That's not the case. What you're usually going to get is a stronger idea of what the market's going to give you long term, so that way it cuts out a lot of the noise. What I mean by that is, if I know this shit's bullish, what do I have to do? I know it's bullish. All I gotta do is find buy entries. You know what I mean? Makes sense. But right now, again, on the daily, nothing's just going to be, and hopefully, because I keep saying that, but all these yen pairs and some of these markets, they just say they're very parabolic. They're just moving in their own direction, not giving any regard to anything else. So what I can see is a bullish market. You're looking for a bullish continuation. That's a great idea, but where from? If we just look left to get right, where can that next bullish move be from? Makes sense. So this would be your bullish range or your buy zone. Jay, why would that be? Good question. Let me answer that. Because if you can identify where the most relevant level of previous structure is, you're probably going to find the most relevant actions from. Price, action. So this is your next buy zone. What does that mean? Jay, do I sell right now? I don't know. If you have analysis to go ahead and place sells on that, that's on you. If you're looking for a continued buy area, that's where it's at. The long-term idea, especially because this is a strong impulsive move. We're on the daily time frame. This literally has little to no correction. If anything, there is no correction by true definition. So if I can see that this market is all the way up here, and again, like I said, understand the characteristics of your candlesticks, I can see that this candlestick here is giving me a strong idea of what? Potential rejection. So if I can see that the market is already rejecting, let's look left to see if there's anything. That kind of helps. There's some structure here. Oh, my contacts. So me seeing that there's some type of rejection, or rather structure, we can see that this was previous support. Let's actually see. Previous support, reject off, and then broke through, and then retested to continue to push down lower. We're right back at that area, which is really important. Now everybody wants to text me. But we can see here that we're getting rejection. So does that mean that this is going to be a reversal area and we're going to look for strong sells coming all the way back down to here? Absolutely not. What I would say is potential correction from here back down to these lows for continued buys. So it'll look like this. And we can even take a Fibonacci retracement tool from swing high or from swing lows to swing highs. And you have Fib confluence there as well. So just a very simple idea. You know what I mean? If you're looking for your continued buys, when we scale down to a smaller time frame, is it giving you potential sell ideas? Because if so, I mean, you could sell maybe down to that area if it does give you that analysis. Now, I'm not saying to do that because I don't believe that's the case. Even here on a smaller time frame, if we just get rid of everything, there's potential re-entries on the smaller time frame. I mean, it's just identifying where your best opportunities will be based off of what analysis you personally like, what strategies you all use. But as far as like any strategy goes, you're going to be using structure alongside your strategies. Yeah, I mean, it just makes it 10 times stronger. So hopefully that makes sense. But I mean, in this market, you're looking for a continued buy. And I know that that's weird because when we looked at GBP AUD, that's a strong sell, and we should be looking for continued sells on that. And when we look at GBP JPY, when they're supposed to, most likely, most of the time, you know, pairs do correlate. Pound pairs correlate with other pound pairs. They don't move identical, but they usually move in somewhat similar fashions. We're not getting that now. So in this case, yes, you want to make sure that you're treating this as its own individual, trading it as its own pair, and looking for continued buys. Maybe at the lower level from the daily, or if it's not trying to correct like that, like it hasn't, you're probably looking at a level of buys from here on a smaller time frame aspect. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. But yeah, that's a real easy one as well. But yeah, what other markets you guys want to take a look at? Because I was going to take a look at GJ. Regardless, this is one of my favorite pairs markets to trade. That, gold, Euro JPY, pretty much all yen pairs. Yen pairs are extremely volatile. As you can see, when they trend, you can see that they move pretty well. They're always giving you some type of option to trade. So I personally do trade a lot of yen pairs and also gold. But let me actually go ahead and take a look at, let's see what else we have. That Euro USD, most commonly traded pair, which is super boring right now, so we're probably not going to look at this. And real quick, Mondays are very boring. Sundays, Mondays, and Fridays, most boring days of the week to trade. Or if anything, you're not even trading on a Friday, you're definitely not trading on a Sunday. If you do, God bless your soul. If you trade on a Friday, I mean, the markets are getting a lot more volatile on Fridays. I'm starting to see not too bad, but I would say still be very careful. But Euro USD not offering us anything. So I'm just going to go through the gauntlet where I'm just going to go from like the top to bottom of the pairs that I have just to see if there's anything to necessarily speak on. And I do think that with AUD CAD, we might have something. And if there's any potential trades, we can obviously take a look at that. Now, there might be, I'm looking at this really quick, and then I'll mark this up on the smaller time frame. There might be some sells here on AUD CAD. Oh, my contacts. I do not like contacts. I'm just going to go ahead and buy some glasses. So what I'm looking at here is this potential idea. Bitcoin going through the roof. It's going through the roof right now? Let me actually go ahead and take a look. Oh, yeah, it's still continuing. I thought you meant like from the analysis that we just put out from the morning. I thought it just like skyrocketed to like 70,000. I was like, oh, wow. I thought it was going to be by sometime this year. I didn't think it was going to be today. That would have been crazy. That would have been absolutely crazy. But let me see with AUD CAD. I do see a potential sell here with AUD CAD. Well, I mean, it already gave the sells. As you can see here, 1, 2, we have or kind of a touch here, breakthrough, and we're getting a retest here. So I do want to see some potential sells coming up here with AUD CAD, or re-entries rather, because it already gave us that. So if we can come back up to the structure point at least, because I don't think this has enough volatility on a Monday to just give us strong continued sells. But if we can come back up to here, I'll actually put this out for you guys for a potential sell. You've been in since yesterday? Nice. I might actually go ahead and start investing a bunch more money back in. Oh, yeah, that was old. The Aussie dollar has just been extremely bullish. Let's see. Oh, almost to what our analysis was. So, yeah, right now the market's, I do like the way AUD USD right here looks. So, we'll actually cover this. But, again, on Mondays, don't expect too much from the markets. They're not going to be as fun. You're not going to get too many opportunities. If you do, be very careful because that might be like a false sense of your analysis. But what I do want to see real quick is AUD USD. Because right now, we are at a strong level of structure. Again, I'm on a higher time frame. The whole baby screaming outside. Again, for anybody on the session, I'm in New York City. I'm from New York, so if you hear anything from outside, that's literally New York for you. Let's do this. Strong structure. So there might be some, and that makes sense because if gold sells, if we're looking for sells on gold, the dollar, hopefully, because it hasn't correlated like that a bit, but then we'll see some strength within the dollar. So strong structure, and we're getting some rejection with our candle. So let's actually go ahead and write that out. Rejection candles. That baby's screaming. I don't know if y'all, I hope y'all don't hear that. So I know this mic I got is crazy good, but yeah, that baby out there crying like crazy. All right, so rejection candles. So we're already getting some type of rejection from this area, which is great because we're at a strong level of structure. Again, price action, identify the most relevant level of price, and then the actions that proceed within them, because that's going to give you the higher probable idea. And did I freeze again? Okay, I did not. All right, so if I go here to the 4 hour, not so much, but I do see what you would call a railroad track, in a sense where the market is kind of giving you like a railroad in a sense. It's just consolidated, ranging, which could be an early indication of bullish weakness and sellers trying to take over. So if I could see something like that, I'm not going to do too much. I want to see more along the lines of more development here, but I'll actually just draw this really quick, make sure that's perfect. Perfect. So I want to see a break of all this. That baby's still crying. I'm sorry. That's just like, that is crazy. Because if you guys hear that, I know that must be annoying. I do apologize for that. There's nothing I could do about it. No matter where you go in New York City, you're always going to hear it. And I'm in a nice neighborhood too. It's the craziest thing. All right, so let me see real quick. I do want to see a break of here, because if I do, that would be great. You can either see a break of the trend line, the retest of it, and even the structure here. So that would be even better. So let me see this. And that'll be like the first structure point that I'll be looking for take profits. And again, my trading is just very simple. I just always want to identify what the market is leaving behind as far as clues. And I'm not going to get greedy. Like, it can drop lower than here, and we'll identify, I mean, obviously, if the market starts developing into what we're looking at. If not, obviously, we'll change our bias. But if we can see something like this, my first take profits would be something here. So it'll be like this. Targets 1. Oh, not change interval. Targets 1. Now, obviously, there's no trade on this right now, so I don't want anybody going ahead and placing sells. I'm just marking this up in the sense of if everything does fruition, if everything does, like the technical analysis I'm looking at, does in fact go in my favor, this is how I'm going to be set up. I already have everything mapped out and planned. So that way I don't have to like, yo, what's going on with this? What do I have to do? I already know. I have a visual. So let me actually go ahead. Oh, I did freeze again. Hold up. Let me go ahead and do this really quick, because now I look crazy. Let me remove this. I don't know why that keeps doing it either. Now I'm going to come back, but my face is going to be giant. I apologize. Let's see if I can just get this out the way really quick. This is crazy. There we go. I don't know why I keep freezing. It's like the craziest thing. All right, yeah. It's popping up on your end now. I'm going to be a giant face for a second. And I'm sorry, I know I look crazy. I'm not a morning person. All right, so we should be good. I'm over here making sure you guys good. All right. Did I freeze again on stream? No, okay. I guess it's like if I move a lot, that's like the weirdest thing. All right, so I won't move as much. I know I use my hands a lot. All right, so let's get back to it. So I do see that this market, again, if I can't see a lot of respect within this area, I will be looking for sells, especially if we have a break of this minor trend line, if you will. It's not so much of a major trend line, nothing too significant, nothing too crazy. But that'll be targets 1 and then targets 2. And again, the reason why I'm doing this is because if everything starts mapping out in my, like, working in my favor, 1, I already have things marked up for myself and legacy students, and 2, it gives me more confidence because I'm like, oh wow, okay, so I thought that was going to happen and it did. Now it's starting to do exactly what I thought. I feel more confident in placing this trade and making more money. So targets 2. Oop, didn't spell that right. Targets 2. All right, so I'll be looking at something like this with AUD USD. So again, any questions, any markets you guys want to take a look at, feel free to let me know. Definitely want to make sure that I'm staying relevant to you guys. I don't want to just be talking about things you don't care about. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know as well. it's really important that I stay again relevant to what you guys want to take a look at because again, it's your time. Like a lot of you guys, for one, I do believe that these sessions I hold for you guys are pretty valuable, and the time spent with you guys could be used very wisely if you guys have any questions. So feel free to always let me know what you guys need. And with legacy students as well, we're gonna, if you guys haven't already, has it already been? Oh, all right, sweet. Right now, I do have our new auto trade. Oh, that's the history already. Oh, it already placed trades. Oh, okay, perfect. I didn't think it already placed trades. I am running for legacy students real quick. This is all demo, by the way. This is all demo. I'm running our EA with a few pairs and especially with gold on FTMO demo accounts to track the success to see if it can pass. In fact, FTMO challenges, because if it can, it'll acquire you guys more money, and then obviously this EA will continue to make you money with those with those funded accounts. But I didn't even know it had any trades out. I was just going to tell you guys it is running, but obviously now you guys can see that it's running, and it already closed out a few trades. I'm only using small lot sizes for now, with some highly volatile pairs, as you see here, just a few dollars, not crazy, $6. And then obviously everything else will come into profits. And I do have it running on gold with almost 2 standards. And as you see here, it's placing more trades, which is beautiful. It'll place multiple trades, buy, sells, but it's actually pretty good. So we had a full success rate last week of 100%, like literally. And I'm not ever going to say that again, because it's obviously going to take losses. And that was just a weird 100% success rate, to be honest, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to be running that with you guys as well this week. So as you see, I'm just trying to give you guys as much value as possible, and also that EA may come out to the general public for a decent price. So, and that's like way in like next year, because I want to keep testing that for at least a good year to really back test and really make sure that it's going to be significant. But yeah, anything else you guys want? Any questions? Any other markets you guys want to take a look at? I'm just skimming through, seeing what else you guys, if there's anything else we could really talk about. But everything is pretty much stagnant. I would say, since we are looking for more along the lines of buys for G or for pound pairs for that matter, might be looking for some sells here with Euro GBP actually, because as we can see here, I mean, it's a very simple idea. It's a break, potential retest, because it's already retested, but it can still break above, especially since it's retested and it's right back at that range. It can find some bullish momentum, but I will be looking at this as a pretty decent sell range. So swing high, swing low, right at that 618, just roughly. So I will be looking for sells roughly around this area here with GBP JPY, or Euro GBP JPY, with Euro GBP. Let me see. Sell kill zone. And I'll make sure that I post these charts in the Discord for everybody as well. I really want to make sure that you guys understand everything. Here with Euro JPY, we might, and again, I feel like this might have a steeper correction, but with how these yen pairs are and how these markets have just been trending in general, I don't want to go against them too much, but I will be looking for potential buys, even here on Euro JPY. And as you see, I'm just identifying previous structure. There's a lot more that goes into it. I don't want to be like, oh, that's it. Like, no, there's a lot more that goes into it. I'm just identifying right now the areas of potential entries, and then as they reach that area, then I'll start looking for confluence. Is there trend lines? Is there fibs? Is there candles? Like, I'll start identifying from there. But right now, as it's Monday, everything is developing, and the last thing you want to do is just mark up everything on your chart right now, because it's just opening up. You know what I mean? So as everything develops, let's say I mark the structure, I'm looking for buys. I'm like, all right, once it gets here, I buy, and it continues to break down lower. If I just would have been patient enough, I see the break, I'm like, oh, well, now it's creating maybe a head and shoulders pattern. Now I can identify that this is, in fact, looking for potential sells. If I'm patient, I'll be able to let that develop and truly show me. That's why I'm like, I don't want you guys thinking that that's it. That's all I do. Absolutely not. Everything is within patience, and it's also within really allowing the markets to show you the clues that it leaves behind. So I'm just identifying potential ideas, because when we get there, my eyes are open, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just allowing the market to, again, develop, really show me what it wants to do. So don't think that that's like it. Like, oh, I just identify the structure. Absolutely not. I'm identifying relevant structure and what proceeds after. But again, anything, let me see. Got a bunch of you guys on today. Oh, I didn't freeze yet, bet. Ooh. Oh, bruh. Didn't I just say if we could have bought from here? I should have just. I came back to this because I was like, oh, let's see if the buys could be coming into play so that way we could place it. And look at that shit. Damn, I should have came here. We should have just placed the buys, to be really honest. I was really liking the way it looked. I wanted to see, the reason why I didn't want to get into it just yet is because I wanted to see if it can come back to these lows, and then we could have had a better risk reward, because our trade would have looked like this. If our entries would have been anywhere down here, we could have had maybe a 30 pip, 40 pip stop loss on gold. That's great. And then our take profits would have been 200 some pips. That's crazy. I was literally coming back to this to see if we were going to get any type of, if it was shaping up to be buys. Because in the beginning of the session, if nobody was here, like I was looking at this, I said, since we do have this trend line here and that small level of structure, we do have potential buys. And that shit just shot up. But at the same time, that's great because now we know for a fact where we're going to be looking for sells. So I'll use this high. So we can see here, this will be our sell kill zone. Just one of them, because this could obviously push up to the upside here. And that's, I mean, if we sell here, it comes up to there. I'll re-enter a potential sell. But this will be our first kill zone. Sell kill zone. Kill zoner. There we go. First kill zone. And then obviously if that's broken, we'll actually just add something here. We will re-enter shorts at next level of resistance. Simply put, nothing crazy. Boom. So I do want to see something like that. And don't get me wrong, with how impulsive this is right now, I would not be looking at this so heavily as a sell kill zone until it shows me. Like, look at that. That's a strong buy. You're not just gonna go again once you get to 618 sell. Absolutely not. You definitely want to let something like that really show you what it wants to do next, because that's a pretty impulsive move. It is 10 minutes to 8:30, and then an hour after for like actual New York session, and then 9:30 the New York Stock Exchange open. So I mean, that could be the volatility that's driving. It should be the volatility that's driving that up. So I would be very careful with this. So again, identifying but not immediately going after it, because the market is the market. It'll do whatever the fuck it wants. But yeah, any questions on that, or any questions in general? Any other charts you guys want to take a look at? I apologize for not getting us in the buys here on gold. Definitely I should have got a sense of that. I was just being a little too patient, I guess. I wanted to see what was going to happen, especially now because you see how volatile it gets during this time. But yeah, definitely want to identify some potential sells around here. And if not, we're going to look for some sells here. Strong sell. Or we'll just put second entry. Second sell zone. So I'll be right here. Now, it does seem as if it's losing a little bit of steam, but we still have about 39 minutes to be exact minutes, or 38 to be exact minutes for it to actually close. And with that amount of time, it could fill that wick, go all the way up to the second kill zone in one candle, and just completely, annihilate our analysis. But it does seem as if our analysis right now is shaping up. This is what I mean. We identify what's going to happen, so that way when the steps, the idea that you perceived was going to happen starts to actually fruition, it gives you more confidence on what you were previously trying to identify. Again, we were looking for sells. Now that looks a lot better because we are getting a correction into those zones. So let's see how it plays out. What I will actually do is just get rid of this and draw a trend line, because that itself could be used in the near future as well. So I'll get rid of this down here. Get rid of this down here as well. And that's what I'll look at with gold. I'll get rid of this down here too. So with gold, I mean, that looks like a really solid idea. And I'll make sure that I share this with you guys in the Discord as well, because I would love. And if this does look really good, I'll put this out in the auto trader for everybody. I know gold sometimes be getting us, but I do like the way that this currently looks. So I'll make sure that all legacy students are actually into this trade as well. Let me actually just see what this is doing again. Okay. I'm just trying to stay like on top of this, but I love this. And if anybody's like, that's a lot of drawdown, it's based off of $100,000 and $200,000 accounts. That's not drawdown at all, especially if it's already made some profits. That's pretty decent. So, and I will keep track of that. Obviously, I got some students that are testing it out with me, and I'll make sure that I keep track of the failure and or success of the EA, if you will. I've been coding it myself. I've just been trying to like see if it works, see if I can actually learn how to do it. And I learned it, and it was weird, but it's not as hard as a lot of people think. It's difficult, but it's not as difficult as I perceive, as I personally thought. But yeah, real quick, I'm actually gonna go ahead. Let me see real quick. Now this might look weird. This is my personal strategy. I'm gonna go ahead and place a sell here on Euro GBP. You do not have to. Obviously, this is just something I'm personally doing. My trade setup is going to look like this, and I'm going to go over the technical standpoint on why I'm looking for sells here on Euro GBP. My stop loss is going to be right above. Actually, no, it's not going to be all the way up here. What am I talking about? My stop loss, I'm going to make it a minimum of 30 pips. It's supposed to be right above these highs, but with how the pound pairs and also Monday, I want to let this trade just breathe a little bit. And that's also the beauty of swing trading. I know a lot of people, they don't like that. They don't want to be in drawdown, but you also don't want to lose a trade. So imagine if you trade 10 trades in one day and lose them all. It's probably not that favorable. This is why I like to let my trades breathe a little bit, let them kind of develop. I am at a level of previous structure. If we look left, we are retesting. Again, for anybody who was not here when I looked at this before. But as you see here, we are retesting a level of previous structure. We also have some fib confluence in the mix. Swing high, swing low. Just roughly around that 618. And me seeing that, that already respected, dropped down, we came right back to that structure. This could right now be creating what we would call a double top. So me seeing that, and this is very risky in the sense because it's not a completed double top, right? It's the early prerequisites, if you will, of a double top. But if I could be a betting man, which kind of trading is not betting, but it's definitely a form of investing, right? A different form of investing. I would think that this showing me already rejection here could give me the idea of potential sells. Again, you guys do not have to sell this. You do not have to do this. This is not something you are forced to place. This is just something I'm looking at. My contacts are killing me. I apologize. Did I freeze again? I did not. Perfect. Just making sure that my webcam didn't freeze on you guys. So my first obvious take profit, I'm going to be roughly about 65 pips. So roughly here. So target's 1. And then obviously my target's 2 will be down here. Because again, that's just another level of structure. As easy as this may seem, it takes a lot of work to understand this. You got to be on the charts, actually marking things up, applying things, being able to train your eyes to see certain things. So hopefully this kind of helps for everybody. And if it does, for anybody who's actually learning, again, I'm sorry to ask for it again, but please, by all means, give this video a like or this live a like. It really helps, not just myself, but for you guys. The more that we grow this, the better it becomes for you guys. I absolutely promise. Especially for my legacy students. I have a lot coming out for you guys. Obviously, we're back testing this EA, seeing how this works for us. We're already making some profits on it. This is small profits. I'm only testing with small lot sizes now, but at the end of the day, this is going to be half standards. So that way, that would be already $140 to $1,400. So that's the plan. But obviously, everything right now is working out beautifully, especially with volatile pairs like USD MXN, gold, GJ. Like if it could trade that perfectly, it's going to trade Euro, USD, GU, and all that perfectly as well. But yeah, real quick, this is right now my potential trade setup or my actual trade setup here with Euro GBP. I'm going to be placing this here in a second because so there's no questions or anything. I'm going to get off and conclude here in a few minutes, and I'll be placing this trade here on Euro GBP for sells. Hopefully, I don't get in too late, but if you guys would like, that's currently what I'm going to be looking at. And again, I'm just starting to see some rejection from here. Potential double top at a level of broken structure that's currently being retested. I have a 30 pip stop loss. My first target is 66 pips. And my second target is all the way down here. Oop, wrong thing. Oh, come on. There we go. My second take profit's over 150. So risk reward definitely in our favor long term, and overall it still will be in our favor. So like a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2, so 1-to-3 trade setup with this. So yeah. Any questions? Any other charts you guys want to take a look at? Feel free to let me know. If not, we'll conclude for today. I definitely want to make sure I'm just speaking on relevance, making sure that I'm helping you guys understand to the best of my abilities. And legacy students, if you guys are on, thank you guys so much for always supporting and always being available and always asking questions even while we're on our own sessions. I will be doing a night session with you guys as well, for legacy students rather, so that way I can get more in detail with things, really answer any and all questions that you guys may have. And I want to see what we could do about marking up your charts for students, right? Having us all see what you guys marked up. Really make sure that you're on the right path, go over anything that needs to be corrected, and really help you guys become more profitable. So I want to do that with you guys tonight, and I'll make sure I put that update with you guys in the Discord as well. But again, any questions, anything else you guys have, feel free to let me know. If not, we'll conclude for today. Catch back on first thing tomorrow morning for legacy students. Later on tonight, maybe we can even do binary. We do sun. I want to do something with you guys, do something different. I know we're doing the forex sessions here, the live sessions here. But I want to do either legacy line sessions with you guys, binary, even US 30, scalping. I don't think we can really do that at night. But even if we can plan something to do that, I want to, even gold. I want to get some with y'all, so that we can make some money at night a little bit more easily, quicker. So I think maybe even binary, might mess around with binary again. And binary, if we do, it'll be based off the legacy line strategy. As crazy as this looks, this is an amazing strategy. So our binary strategy or our binary trading will be based around this strategy as well. So we'll be able to make money trading this and be able to teach you legacy line. So that might actually be a good correlation between the two, being able to make money trading binary and also teaching you guys legacy line with trading binary. So that might actually be the move. I actually do like that. But I don't see any questions. I don't see anything from you guys so far. So it seems like everybody Gucci. Let me get rid of this really quick. If at any time anybody has any questions, you are confused about something, you need any type of assistance, feel free to let me know. Whether it's on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube, whether it's on one of the streams or not, feel free to always let me know. I'm always available. I definitely want to make sure that you guys are learning something, and obviously remaining profitable within the markets. That's extremely important. But with that being said, I don't see anything else so far. Looks like everybody's good. For legacy students, I'll see you guys later on tonight. Very important that we jump onto a call together as well. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for being on. I highly appreciate all the support and everybody constantly being on the sessions. I'm always going to be doing these Monday through Friday, or it might just be Monday through Thursday. It just really depends. But we'll be on these every single day, so that way we can obviously build this community and really just make sure that you are all progressing in your trading career. So with that being said, I highly appreciate every last one of you guys being on. I really can't express my gratitude even more. This is the reason why I'm doing these, this is how I'm expressing my gratitude, because you guys are helping me, and by helping me, you're helping my students, because the more perfect I am on these charts with you guys, it just reflects more positive in their accounts and for their well-being and their future success. So I appreciate everybody being on. Legacy students, love every last one of you guys. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning, and obviously students later on tonight. Thank you guys so much, and have a blessed day. All right, everybody. Thank you.